Sam, I appreciate you coming on and chatting with us. One more time, how do you pronounce your last name?
Aceituno-Zaldana.
What heritage is that?
It's a mixture of Italian, Guatemalan type deal. I just found out because I had to do the whole bloodline deal. My whole life I grew up, everyone was like, "Oh, he's Guatemalan, you're Guatemalan, you're Guatemalan." And then we went and did the blood test and stuff, and my sister and I were like, "We're Italian, we're Spanish, we're not Guatemalan."
The hell?
And it was funny because every time we went down to Central America to visit family and stuff, they would always call my dad Wedo, the white guy, because he looks like a white guy. And it turns out he is a white guy. He just has the Guatemalan culture.
Dude, that's funny.
No, it's hilarious, man. I mean, even some of so my aunt married a Guatemalan man. And it's funny because him and my dad, every time they have a few beers or whatever, they start going at it. And it's and I'm not 100% sure because I was younger back then and I didn't really understand exactly what they were saying. But I'm pretty sure he was like, your white ass needs to stop claiming to be Guatemalan and leave my people alone.
Dude, that's good. Well, for the folks that are listening, man, tell everyone who you're affiliated with and what your position is with the company.
So I'm with the Moonshiners in downtown Houston. Right now I'm running as the general manager, executive chef. I've been with Moonshiners since day one, prior to opening, during construction. I was in there working. I've been with the company now almost 7 years, I believe.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Like 7 years in July. And the group I'm with, originally they were more of like a bar club scene type deal. And they've kind of expanded into restaurants. They opened up a beer market off of Milam Street. And then they went and did a couple other side projects with food and stuff. But the main focus has been Moonshiners Beer Market. They also have Boots and Shoots in downtown. I don't know if y'all have ever been there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang. I didn't know they had that too.
Yeah. No, they're rock and rolling. And then they're about to open up a new project called the Moonshine Deck, which is going to be like a twist of the Moonshiners and Beer Market kind of together. They're going to take some of the best items from Beer Market, best items from Moonshiner, and throw it all together.
That's awesome. Then the Moonshiners, that's one of our favorite spots to go and eat. At least twice a month we're going. One of our buddies.
That's a lot for him.
Yeah.
That seems like
I don't go anywhere. I barely come to Mike's house. So going to Moonshiners. So my buddy from work told us about the Moonshiners and says, man, these, I think he's a big fan of the nachos, the brisket or the pork nachos. And he's like, and I was a big skeptic at first, right? Because barbecue downtown, I was like, there's no way this place is good. But we went and checked it out. Now my wife is obsessed. So we constantly have to go take the kids to it. So y'all are doing something pretty, I mean, it's always packed too. A lot of people, no matter what time we go. So I drug Mike over there one time.
Yeah.
It's a good spot, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously the real estate of the location is awesome. We're right down the street from Minute Maid Park. That always brings in a crowd. And then you take into account like all this stuff, George R. Brown Convention Center, all the hotels. There's always something going on downtown. So there's always a crowd. There's always some type of volume. And then obviously the food, I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but some of the best in downtown.
So who dreamed up the menu? Like whose idea was it?
So the menu,
like, me.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to brag,
Well,
but
you're looking at him.
Yeah.
So the way I got started there, it's actually a funny story. I have an old friend of mine. I actually used to work for him like 13 years ago over at this Steamboat House. I think it was a steakhouse in the Cypress area. He was a partner with these guys, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm almost positive, but basically one day he messaged me, said, "Hey man, do you know anybody that's looking for a job? I'm looking for servers, bartenders. We're about to open a spot in downtown." Back then, like downtown to me was a mystical land. Like I never headed down there. Every time I did, I was like, "Oh, I'm never coming here again. I don't know how to turn on these streets. I don't know where to park. I'm not dealing with it." But it was funny because at the time I had decided to start like expanding and getting more into like the chef side of things. I'd always done front of the house, bartending, all that stuff. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Anyways, so then he sent me that message, and the girl I was dating, who I'm still with today, but I told her because she was looking for something as well, and she was a good bartender. And so I sent her a message. I was like, actually, I got this one chick. I'll send her down. She'll come talk to you. Da da da. And then so she goes down there and talks to him, and we just so happened to be going down there to downtown at the same time. And I saw this job posting at a competing bar, not too far from there, and they were looking for a chef. They wanted to start like focused on food and all that stuff. So I replied to that post, and they were like, "Oh yeah, come to the interview this time, this day, da da da." So it happened to be the same day. We got it set up, coordinated, and all that. So she goes into Moonshiners. She gets the interview with my buddy Donnie, and I guess at some point during the interview, she tells him, she's like, he's actually applying down the street for the kitchen manager position, and he was like, "What? Call him right now! Like, tell him come over here right this second. Don't do that. I got a kitchen manager position here." And so he hit me up, and I went in there. We chatted for like 30 minutes, and that was it. The rest is history. He gave me like basically a blueprint, like what they wanted for the menu, and it's like get it going, and that was it. And from there, it just became bigger and bigger. We ended up changing the menu about 2 months in, maybe 2.5 months in. So like a lot of the things you see on there, like the nachos, a couple of the salads, almost everything really, they weren't there in the original menu blueprint, but the idea was always Southern food, and then they wanted a lot of brisket and pork based items, and and then it blew up.
Is any one menu item just absolutely yours, your creation?
Oh,
you put your neck out, you're like, we got to have this or I'm leaving.
At one point, it was the chicken and waffles.
Okay.
And the thing was they didn't want to have the chicken and waffles on the everyday menu, but it was just so popular during brunch. It was insane, the number of chicken and waffles we would sell. Oh. It's like we would look at the P-mix, which is basically just the sales items, what we sold for the day. And sometimes it would be 70% chicken and waffles. I'm like, that's insane. Right. So that was one thing. But as the menus developed, I've had my hand in every single item that we've done. I personally don't like taking credit for everything because it's a mixture of all the people throughout the years that have been there. There's so many, amateur chefs and line guys that gave me so many ideas and gave the restaurant so much support. And then the menus just slowly become like just a badass, like a stud.
Yeah.
And because there's some people that come in there, they're like, "Oh, I'm looking for something a little bit more fine dining," and and I'm like, that's fine. You can go down the street. Whatever. I don't even know what's open these days, but overall, like majority of the feedback we get, people are like, "Man, you got a little bit of this, you got a little bit of that. We love it. This is awesome." So. Yeah.
You're probably in that sweet spot. Y'all are collecting that data and getting rid of what has low numbers, keeping what has high numbers, trialing out a few things. But
yeah, overall, we haven't had to get rid of many items. It's always been adding items. But the data always speaks for itself. So it's worked out really well for us.
That's dangerous because you end up like the damn Cheesecake Factory where you have this fucking book. Like you're like, I'm not even hungry anymore. Yeah. This shit's overwhelming.
I don't even know how they do that. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Where's all the food go? How do they have everything to make all that stuff?
Yeah, and how do you even come up with a par system where like you're not throwing stuff away every day? Like I don't know, man. That's kudos to them. Like they do a good job. But you're right. Every time I go into Cheesecake Factory, I'm like, okay, I'm not taking time to read this. Just give me the burger, whatever burger you got. Just give that to me.
Well, we have 12. that does probably blow your mind because you're back there, having to manage and inventory and all that. But a question I was going to ask is, what previous experience do you have in cooking? Is it all in industry? Did you go to school?
Yeah. So whenever I've always had a passion for it ever since I was a kid. My grandmothers, both of them were big, like scratch made food type deal. And I would watch them, and it was always something I was curious about. I remember like my first time doing like a ramen noodle bowl and cracking an egg in there and watching the egg cook. And I was like, holy cow, this is like insane. And now I'm actually gonna get full off of it. So like that was, from there, it was always kind of self-taught, like in my early teen years and stuff. And then when I was 18, I had enrolled in the Art Institute and I started going there, but I had a daughter at a very young age. So whenever I looked at everything and I was like, I don't know if I can afford this and do this. And I was like, I'm going to just go ahead and drop out. I'm going to save my $200,000 and run. But I always told myself, you can still do this at some point. Like, becoming a chef does not necessarily require like school training. You can get training from all kinds of different ways. Right. And throughout the years, I just kind of did that. Like anybody I met that was in the industry, I would pick up a little bit here, pick up a little bit there. And then whenever I went in the Moonshiners situation, man, I'm not gonna lie, that the first few months I was overwhelmed. I had never done a grand opening in my life, probably the closest to grand opening I did. I think I opened a McDonald's when I was 19 years old as a cashier or something like that.
Well, that's pretty impressive too.
Yeah.
That place gets lit, man. Well, you get hit.
It was different because they had systems. In this situation, they're like, we need you to create the systems. So I'm like, I don't even know. I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah.
And then as it went on, I was like, man, I can actually do this. I'm good at this. And then the owners were, telling me, hey, man, you're doing a good job. We want you to now do this, and we want you to do this, and we want you to do this. And then one day I'm just like, man, I'm actually, this is awesome. Like, the education. I'm glad I didn't pay for it, but no knock anybody that does. I'm just saying. No,
it's you can learn the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say, are you the type that like you work all day and make this amazing food? Do you go home and you're like, I'm not fucking cooking? It is, isn't it? I know it.
Okay, so it depends on the week.
So Monday through Saturday, don't catch me in there.
If the week is going well, like it's laid back, yes, I'll go home and I'll still cook. If it's a bad week, man, I have no problem eating a TV dinner. Like I don't care, man. I don't even want to hear a stove turn on at that point. Like once you get to that bringing point, you're like, man, I'm not dealing with food at all. Sometimes you're not even hungry. Like you work a 12-hour shift and get off and you're just like, I don't even want to eat at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
As far as my home life goes, yes, I am the one that usually cooks. But my fiance, she does a lot of great things as well in the kitchen. So
what's your background in barbecue? Like who taught you how to make the barbecue?
Man, I don't have a specific point where I was just like, man, I'm good at barbecue now. It's just kind of one of those things that it was probably one of the first things I learned really.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm from Texas. You have to know about barbecue and if you're from Texas and want to call yourself a chef.
So how are y'all doing that at the Moonshiners? Is it a smoker in the back or what does that look like?
Yeah, we have two smokers that are stacked. We use a good brand. It's called Alto Sham. And every day we smoke brisket and pork 14 hours a day for at this point, whenever we're busy, we just keep it going constantly. Like we take it out, shred it up, reload, and just over and over and over again. And the great thing about those smokers is once like the cooking process is done, it automatically switches over to like a holding process. So say you're in a situation where it's going to finish overnight, you don't have to worry about it till, tomorrow morning. They'll hold it at the proper temperature where, nobody's going to get sick or anything like that. So
how deep can we get into this? Like, are we going to let the secrets out of the Moonshiners? Do y'all wrap the brisket? What are y'all doing?
Oh man, I can't tell you all that.
What are you, crazy? Are you crazy?
I just want to know, like Franklin's, I'm sure Franklin's barbecue,
Yeah.
Are y'all doing something like that or is it totally different?
It is. It's totally different. Moonshiners is really unique in how they do the meat and the brisket and all that. Like you don't see a lot of places that shred brisket. Most of the briskets are sliced these days and stuff like that. So
you mentioned, some people are like, I want fine dining, but that is like you go into Moonshiners, it's like right in the middle. It's that sweet spot. It's like fine dining, but it's got that Southern feel to it. It's like perfect. That's why I like going to it because it's not too uppity for me. It's still great barbecue, but it's a nice, clean location.
Yeah, I mean, I tell people all the time, you can go there for date night. You can bring the kids. You can go for like a Sunday fun day brunch type deal. I mean, it really is like you can look at it from all kinds of angles, and it really is cool to be a part of. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So Moonshiners, you have moonshine?
Oh yeah.
I did a mixed drink when I went there, and I didn't indulge on the actual moonshine. So where's this coming from? Are y'all actually making it, or?
So wait. If you did a mixed drink and you didn't have which mixed drink did you have?
I can't remember.
Oh, so you like ordered your own?
It was probably like Crown and Sprite.
Okay.
I didn't have anything like y'all created.
So yeah, all of our cocktails are moonshine based. We do not make our own moonshine. We used to infuse it for a while there. Prior to all the COVID stuff, but post COVID, we've just we get it delivered. It's usually already infused, like strawberry. We have an apple pie one where they have like a cinnamon stick in there, and then we keep like a variety people take shots of and stuff like that. But yeah, absolutely, Moonshiners does have moonshine.
That'd be some shit, huh?
Right. We did have one critic come in the other day and they're like, how are you called Moonshiners? You don't have at least 50 of them. I was like, damn, I don't even have enough shelf space for 50 of them, but whatever, man. Like, Yeah, but we've tried a lot of the different flavors over the years, and man, I'm not gonna lie, people really do like the mixed like weird stuff. It's just one of those things that sells really well.
What's the most popular moonshine you got?
I would say the strawberry moonshine.
I was just thinking the cinnamon or the apple pie one would be.
That did sound good.
So it's funny because we make a cocktail of it. It's called the apple pie. It has like a cinnamon sugar rim, and when you drink it, it tastes just like an apple pie. It's awesome. But
dangerous.
People always have this complex because it comes in a martini glass, and then they're either like, well, can you put in another glass, or the drink looks too small, like it's not enough. What they don't understand is it's almost pure alcohol, and it will mess you up fast. And I learned that the hard way.
Right before I came here.
Still hurts. Man.
But yeah, it creeps up on you too, because whenever it's sweet like that and it goes down very smoothly, people are like, oh, this isn't so bad. This reminds me of like an MD 4040. And
oh yeah. The martini glass is a complex because I'll get Manhattan sometimes and they come in the martini glass and I'm like, damn, I look stupid right now. But it's strong. It's strong.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Manhattans are another one that are strong. I get it, but at the same time I don't. So, but yeah, no, the strawberry is probably the most popular. The number one cocktail on our list is the Strawberry Breeze. It sells like crazy.
What's probably the number one plate? You said chicken and waffles is probably the biggest hit from a brunch perspective. Is that still it, or what's the?
It kind of fluctuates between chicken and waffles and the brisket grilled cheese. The brisket grilled cheese is that was like our call to fame.
Oh, yeah. We got that a couple of weeks ago for my kids, and they split it and they just nailed it down, man. They just went to town on
knocked
it.
Knocked
it out. They loved it.
Yeah, that was the big one. Besides obviously the chicken and waffles, and then the nachos, man. The nachos go like crazy, almost every table at this point.
What's y'all's normal hours?
So right now, Sunday through Thursday, we're open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. and then Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 2 a.m.
And are you like living there, or are you always there?
I was for a while, man. After we reopened, I was there basically every day. Not just me. We had an extremely small staff, so it was everybody. We were all just kind of going at it, man, trying to get the place reopened, spending all day, every day there. And now that we're starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel, man, it was all worth it. It was great. And then the relationships I built with the staff, like I got to know the staff so much better this past year. Yeah. Prior to COVID, I was dealing with 50, 60 staff members at a time. Or per unit, and then now I was dealing with 4 or 5 and got to know them a lot better, and man, I can't even tell you how much work everybody put in this, during the reopening phase.
Right.
But right now, no, I'm there quite a lot. Like my main show time is Friday through Sunday. It's like game time. Let's get this.
Yeah.
Especially when games are in town and stuff. But during the week, it's usually 2-3 days, so 5 to 6 days a week on average.
It's very impressive that y'all lasted through COVID. Just because for anybody, because y'all's location over there, I can't imagine the rent. Like,
it's not only that, but man, I remember that first day when they announced everything, and I drove downtown, and it was just like night and day. Like it was the most depressing thing I've ever seen. I think I remember texting my fiance. I was like, I feel like I'm in zombie land, because it was just basically just all the homeless hanging around and like dust bunnies floating by and trash everywhere. It was insane.
Yeah,
couldn't even believe it. And a lot of places didn't end up making it. Like I started noticing some like major restaurants. I was like, there's no way they're not going to make it, right? Sure enough, like they're done. And I was just like, damn, this is gonna be a battle. And we were closed. I remember, I think it was March through, I want to say June or July. I can't remember the exact dates. And then once we got back going, it was just we ran like bare minimum staff. I mean, we only had bare minimum staff anyways, but it would be me, one person, and then one person in the back. And it was amazing to watch, just like week by week, month by month. It's just like slowly coming back. And yeah, man, I mean, at the end of the day, like looking back on it, it's gonna be an experience I'll never forget. It's going to be in our kids' school books one day, like, oh, the COVID, and I'll be able to tell my son, man, we were fighting through this, kiddo, like this was insane. But and now it's almost like it never happened. So
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. Did y'all partake in the food to go whenever it was partial? So it was a complete shutdown for 2 weeks, right?
Right.
And then the governor said you could do food to go, right? So did y'all do food to go at all, or
Well, they never did a complete shutdown.
Okay.
They went immediately to the to go.
Okay.
They allowed to go. It wasn't drinks right away. I think he signed that like a couple weeks later.
No.
I don't remember the exact timeline. But we tried. I mean, we stayed open for a few days after the announcement, and we tried to do to go, and it was non-existent down there.
Really?
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, I thought it was weird too, because with all the residentials that were popping up, like the buildings, all the residential buildings that were popping up over there, I was like, man, this got to work. Like, people are gonna need food to go. It's almost like they had other houses somewhere and they just dipped out too. Like it was just they were gone, and obviously all the offices shut down, so nothing from the office buildings, and it was just, man, like there's really no words I can say to describe like how night and day it was, but it was unreal. Mm. But yeah, we gave it a shot. There was no traction to it.
Wow.
I figured y'all do really good on the drink portion, because there's not a whole lot of places to get moonshine in general. You have to go like the liquor store, but to go get some drinks, some moonshine to go would be pretty cool.
I thought so too, but yeah, no, it just didn't happen, man.
Wow.
Downtown's a different animal. Like people are different downtown, you know. But all the suburban restaurants, I heard they did great during that time, like with the to-goes and stuff. Obviously not like being fully open, but I heard that they did pretty well.
Yeah, with the recent law that the governor signed of liquor to go, are y'all seeing an uptick in that at Moonshiners or no?
It's kind of one of those random things, really. Like, it's not necessarily like a consistent deal. You'll randomly see someone come in and they'll ask like, "Oh, can we do this? Can we do that?" Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's the law.
That's the law now.
Yeah. I figured that'd be a easy question. Like, everybody's having drinks or about to go to the next spot or whatever. You're like, hey, y'all want some to go?
Yeah.
You know,
because everyone's loosey-goosey. They're just, oh, yeah, we'll take some.
And downtown, how you're saying, it's like they've got to be there to go there. It's not like they're going to drive from their home to downtown to pick up stuff. But once you got them, like, they want stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think the thing about it is people aren't used to it. Like, it's still like so new to them. They're like, what do you mean to go? Like,
are you gonna arrest me?
Yeah.
Is this a trap?
Yeah.
Where's the cameras?
So they're still trying to. I think people are getting a feel for it. If I had to guess, I would say it's gonna expand over time, but I'm not 100% sure on it. I mean, we'll see what happens there.
No.
That's pretty crazy. Talk about this little bar not a little bar, but where's this, the Moonshiners bar deck? What did you call it?
It's called the Moonshine Deck.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be over, I want to guess in the Heights area. I think they call it the Heights still, but it's over off 1239 19th Street.
Is that going to be just a bar, or is it going to be food there too?
So, no. I mean, you're going to be able to get the infamous grilled cheese over there. Oh. I want to say, don't quote me on this, but I want to say the nachos were on there. There's a lot of great items from the Moonshiners that's going to be on that menu. But then they're adding like a lot more bar flair to it. They're going to have wings and stuff like that.
Nice.
And from what I understand, their goal is they want to do a lot of stuff they do at Beer Market. Like at Beer Market, they have trivia night. They have steak night. They have DJs on the weekend type deal. Yeah. So they want to be able to provide the lunch crowd that's looking for a good meal, good meal during the week. And then they still want to have like that type of like nighttime vibe during on certain days during the week, and then on the weekends as well. And then they're hoping to capitalize on the brunch crowd as well. So it's going to be, I mean, I would say similar to the Moonshiners, but with a little more like modern flair, like younger crowd type deal.
Yeah.
That's where it's really going. It's like a bunch of variety of bar drinks, and then like appetizer type food, like quick hit, like nachos, like just a diverse plate of just snack food. And then games. I mean, yeah, my girlfriend all the time's like, oh, there's office trivia night. Let's go do this. And it's just a thing to go do. So y'all move in the right direction.
The trivia is insane, man. Like every time we go to Beer Market and trivia night, it's so funny because people like dress up and all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, oh man, this is real. Wow. I didn't know this many people watched in Twilight. Like,
dude, if it's Twilight, I'm going, dude.
Yeah, don't tell me what a good time.
I was like, what the hell is Twilight?
Have you seen it?
I mean, I have a 16-year-old daughter, so of course I've seen it, but have I actually watched it? No, I've never.
He's got a tattoo.
Yeah. Edward.
Hey man, don't worry about what I got going on over here.
That's why I wore the shirt.
And it's Jacob, not Edward.
I'm Team Jacob, you son of a bitch.
Oh, that's funny. Are y'all having a hard time bringing employees back? You know, I know a lot of restaurants are experiencing trouble trying to bring employees back because they're kind of just living off the government dole right now. Are y'all experiencing that?
You know, I don't know what the reason is or what they're doing. I know a couple of the people I used to work with. Some of them got into YouTube videos.
Oh, heck yeah!
Who was that?
You know, some of them, they did different things, you know, and I do know that part. I mean, I will say like applications have been super slow since we reopened, and it's almost like a dime a dozen, man. Just someone randomly walks in, you're like, whoa, weirdo. No.
You want to work?
You looking for a job?
Is that causing any issues for the Moonshiners? You got plenty of staff right now.
So I mean, like I said before, like I had the loyal core come back and to help get it going, and it's just been like one of those things where we're slowly adding piece by piece.
That's good.
And man, at times it was hard, and I was just like, man, like when's this gonna end? Like I feel like I'm coming in here just to get my head beaten every single day, and all these people want these nachos and brisket cheese, and, you know. And I was like, forget brisket. I hate this place. But I will say that I feel like because I've been able to take the time to get to know people and spend time with them, the team now and the direction it's going is far better than what I felt prior to COVID. It's almost like it's just like everybody's finding a place type deal, and the personalities are like meshing very, very well, and it's a great like flow right now. So while like number wise, like par wise, yeah, I would say I'm short staffed. I don't feel that way just because of how great the team is at the moment.
Yeah, going through the shit like y'all did, like short staff, trying to cater to, you know, all the people, it brings people closer, like some camaraderie, like y'all are going through difficult times together, so y'all might have a stronger team than you might have ever had.
Oh, no, I definitely believe that. I mean, and that's no knock on any past employees. Like everybody that's ever been a part of Moonshiners has left an imprint there. But it's just one of those things where we all went through some really crazy stuff this last year, and I look at the bright side of it at the end of it, and that's one thing I take away. I'm like, man, like I'm really excited about the future. Like I think these guys are going to be great. Probably our biggest issue right now is product. We're having a hard time getting certain products. Oh yeah. You know, I mean, obviously people can get online and see the chicken shortage, this shortage, that shortage, but it's a lot more than that, man. There's simple things like that we would get every day. Product, I mean, like paper product wise and stuff like that. Just can't get it. Like, you know, you call your rep and they're like, I don't have it.
Are y'all getting things locally, or do y'all? I mean,
yeah, we get a lot of local stuff. But and I mean, when it comes to paper products and stuff like that, I don't necessarily know where it comes from, but most of the proteins and stuff come local.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I heard basically all of the bigger places that distribute food laid off people too during COVID. So like it's you know, there's a lot more demand now, and then they're having to restaff. So it's the supply chain's kind of.
And I think
slow.
the thing with the demand was it just kind of like came out of nowhere. Like everybody was stuck in this like system. They're like, it was just going, and we got COVID and so we're just gonna keep it like this, keep it like this, keep it like this. And then it was like out of nowhere, everybody was like, I'm gonna start going out. I'm going to go party. I'm going to go to downtown. I want a brisket grilled cheese right this moment. And it's like, I ain't even got brisket, man.
Are you friends with any chefs or restaurant owners outside of state or from another state, and comparing Texas business to that state and how it's doing?
So I try to stay active in like different chef groups on Facebook and stuff like that, and I pay attention to forums and whatnot. Man, that's a good question, because I can't even remember all my friends' names. Some of them I don't even have saved at this point. They'll text me randomly, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta scroll back and look at this conversation. Like, oh yeah, what's up, man? How are you? I want to say that, you know, I know a couple people in Vegas. I know a guy in Oklahoma. Him and I don't talk too often, but from what is posted, I'm pretty sure that they're having the same issues. But like locally, yeah, I mean, even on the groups, everybody's having the same problem. I think it's really everybody but Vegas. I think Vegas kind of took priority once they reopened over everybody else. But yeah, I mean, from what I understand, it's a national thing. It's not just like a Houston or downtown type deal, you know?
Yeah, that's interesting. So Moonshiners is a popular place, and I heard y'all had some celebrities rolling there.
Yeah.
What kind of celebrities do you see going in there?
You know, man, I mean, I could read off the list for you, but it would take all day.
What gets them there? Is it the games?
So obviously our biggest celebrity, you can look it up anytime, is Alex Bregman. He took a liking to us from like day one. Before he was even on the Astros, he liked us.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I could tell y'all that story in a second. But as far as the other celebrities, man, I don't know what it is. Like, we've had Janet Jackson there.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, Janet Jackson, dude. And it was funny because it was the funniest thing ever. So she's sitting on one of our outside tables. She's lined up along Main Street. You know, when you walk in the entrance, you have those line of tables that kind of take you to the front door.
Yep.
So she's sitting on one of those tables, and she's with like 3 other guys. And I don't really know what she was doing in town. I don't even know if there was a concert or what was going on. But I personally didn't even recognize her at first. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was kind of busy, you know, running around or whatever.
Yeah.
And we had one of our cooks walk in, and he's like walking the patio, and you see him like stop. He's like looking at her, he's like, holy shit, guys.
Look over here.
Yeah. He's like, Janet Jackson? And he like goes to the door, goes, guys, Janet Jackson's outside right now.
No. That's the one thing she doesn't want.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you see like this black Tahoe pull up on the other side. One of the guys like takes over the fence, throws in the car, and they take off. I was like, damn.
Oh, no.
Well, I was about to ask, how does it work when a celebrity goes there? I would imagine they send their entourage in there and say, hey, we need a private table. Does that happen?
I get those calls a lot, but with the way Moonshiners is built, we don't have a private table, so it's hard for me to accommodate that.
Yeah.
But, you know, in all honesty, man, most of the people that have gone in there are just pretty down to earth. Like, they're not really worried about that. Usually, whenever I get those calls, they don't say who it is. They just ask about a private room, and if there's, like, a higher-end celebrity, like, how do we handle it?
Right.
I'm like, well, we cook them food and we serve it to them.
Yeah.
What is it? I
It's a
don't
restaurant.
know. Yeah.
I was surprised to hear Janet Jackson just sat out in the open.
Janet Jackson, dude.
There must be like a private network somewhere where celebrities are like, hey, if you're going to Houston, it's this place. Like,
Yeah. And now y'all are blacklisted.
That was terrible, man. And you know what really sucked is like 30 minutes later, she was at another restaurant taking selfies with Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, if he made me miss out on the chance of meeting Tyler Perry, I'm gonna go mess this guy up right now.
He was about to show up.
Yeah.
He's like, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, I don't know that for sure, but so yeah, we had Janet Jackson. That was obviously an interesting story. We had Akon come in. He was super cool, man. Took pictures with the staff.
That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure he was like smoking a cigar on the patio. Then we had Dennis Rodman too.
What?
And I know why he was there. He was doing a halftime thing with the Rockets during a playoff game.
Okay.
This dude, and I'm not bullshitting you, man. This guy sat on our patio almost 8 hours. Just sat there.
Smoking a cigar and drinking?
Smoking a cigar and drinking.
What was he drinking?
He was trying our cocktails, and then he kept mixing up. Like, he was doing different stuff on the rocks. Like, it changed up all throughout the day. I swear he smoked like 4 or 5 cigars, and he was just
Chilling.
That's a big man though. Like, all the drinks and smoke, he can handle more than.
Did y'all watch that Michael Jordan Netflix?
Oh, yeah.
You see, he used to get like drunk the night before and not go to sleep and go play these games.
and then play like out of his mind.
Yeah.
Have like 25 rebounds.
the best player on the team.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I saw that. And man, honestly, he gives that vibe too. Like, he just sits there like, yeah, I'm that man, dude. What's up? And he actually ended up signing a menu for us, which was really cool. At first, he was a little bit standoffish. He was kind of like, I don't want anybody talking to me type deal. And then after 4 drinks, he became like a social butterfly,
He came back there and started cooking with you.
He's like, what's up, man? You want some autographs? He was talking to the homeless. Y'all want some autographs? Like,
you want my shirt? No? Okay.
But yeah, then he relaxed and he became really cool. I'm trying to think of anybody. I mean, we had Michael Irving in there. That was during Super Bowl. Honestly, that's probably where we had the most. Like, during the Super Bowl week, whenever it was in Houston, we had all kinds of celebrities coming in and out, man. They were very low key. But it was kind of like celebrities were everywhere. So it wasn't anything special, I guess. Like Shaq was like walking by from the yeah.
Is that much, huh?
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. Oh yeah. Downtown, when it, like any type of event like that, if you want to see a celebrity, just go downtown. Trust me.
Up there.
Yeah. I mean, the hotels alone, like it's just that's where everybody goes whenever they arrive to the city for big events like that. So Michael Irving and all kinds of baseball players all the time. Baseball players, a few of the Rockets and stuff like that. But that's more consistent than anything. So it's not really like a huge deal anymore.
Oh, it's what about Beyonce?
No, and I'm kind of mad at her for that.
I'd say Houston girl.
Houston, yeah.
Yeah, like
I've seen her at Papacitos before, you know.
Damn, Papacitos, and you can't pay Moonshiners some respect.
What's going on, man?
What's up, Beyonce? I hope she clicks on this. She needs to know.
I hope she does too.
Please.
I figured at least because she's from Houston and she's here a lot from what I hear.
Yeah, no Beyonce yet. I mean, you never know. It could happen. Yeah, Jan Jackson beat her to the punch. She's more of a Houstonian than Beyonce in my eyes now.
Alex Bregman's a big cheerleader for y'all. I mean, he did a Rolling Stone interview where he mentioned y'all.
Yep.
I mean, what's that relationship like with Alex?
So Bregman started coming before he ever got drafted by the Astros, and it was actually an interesting story. I don't know exactly if it was a friend or family member, but he was in Houston for a wedding. It was over at the Rice Hotel, and he came in with a group of guys, and we started chatting about back then we had the infused moonshine jars on the bar. So we started chatting about that stuff, and it didn't really go anywhere from there. I think he ate, and he really liked the food, and that was it, right? Came back a couple times after that. I didn't know who he was. Nobody really knew who he was. He was just a kid, you know? He was just talking about how he loved moonshiners and stuff. He would order the brisket grilled cheese, obviously, and then
obviously
because he's a kid.
We talk about it a lot, man.
And
that's a hot item, man.
He still had the metabolism for it, man. Like,
I know. He does look like baby young though.
Yeah. I mean, you think he looks baby young now? Like he looked like a kid back then. Like I was like, man, look at this guy. Like who's this guy? That's going all these questions. But
who the hell do you think he is?
I don't have time for this, man. I got a lot of stuff to do in the back. But then one day, now obviously the MLB draft is not like a big publicized thing like NFL and NBA and all that. It's actually kind of quiet. Like you don't even know what happens. You all of a sudden you just get like a notification on your phone. The Astros drafted this guy at this position. Da da da. But it's not like, oh my God, the Astros just drafted this guy. Because in baseball, like they really don't know how these guys are going to pan out. Like they could be the number one prospect today, and then next week they're nothing. And I remember I was actually in the restaurant, and we just happened to have MLB Network on, and the Astros were doing their draft, and I see this kid's picture on the screen, and I was like, that's the guy that comes into Moonshiners. And it's like he was drafted by the Astros, and I was like, oh man, like I know an athlete now. Like I'm about to quit.
That's funny.
So then, sure enough, man, like I want to say it was next week or the week after, he's there, and then he's there like every other day. And the one thing about him, and I remember, I don't remember who I told. I probably told everybody, but I remember him sitting he would come into Moonshiners, he would sit at the bar. He didn't drink. He would have Dr. Peppers and water, and that was it. And then he would destroy like 2 or 3 brisket grilled cheeses in one setting. Damn. And yeah, the dude loved him. And then, but he would sit there with his batting coach, and 6-7 hours at a time. Like he would show up there for lunch, eat the brisket grilled cheese, and then eat again at dinner before he left, right? But all they would talk about is baseball. Like he was so focused. And I remember telling people, I'm like, man, that guy's going to be good. Like, I don't think he's going to be just like one of those scrubs or whatever. Like, I think he's going to actually, like, he cares. Like, he wants to do well. And then, so one of the times he's sitting there, I come out and I'm like, so you play baseball? And he's like, yeah, but he's super humble too. And
how do you know?
I was like, that's crazy, man. Like, that's a badass. He's like, yeah. He's like, you want to take a picture? I was like, yeah, I'll take a picture with you. And then we go over by the Southern Hospitality sign, and he takes a picture, and he's like, hey, take down my phone number, send me a picture, I'll tweet it. I was like, absolutely. I mean, I might send you some creepy messages in the middle of the night, but
when I'm drunk.
If you're ready for that, yeah, let's do it,
man. You ready for all this?
And yeah, so then I sent that over, and then he popped out a tweet, and then all of a sudden Moonshiners was on the map as far as like the go-to place for Astros games. And then couple weeks later, he comes in again, sends out another tweet. And then from there, he just kind of kept us in the loop, man. Whenever we did whenever everything shut down, he hit me up. I want to say it was like maybe the second week of shutdown. And he was like, man, I want to do some stuff, for Houston. I want to help out the hospital workers. Let's go deliver some brisket grilled cheeses.
Wow. I
was like, yeah, let's do it, man. Let's go for it. And that became a big deal too. I guess one of the hospitals we went to had the contacted a news station or whatever. And then we take pictures, and all of a sudden it's on the news that night. And then when the winter freeze hit, he did a water drive, and he contacted us again. He's like, hey man, can you cater to the volunteers for us? And I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it, man. And again, it became like a publicized deal. And yeah, man, he's always just kind of been a part of us in a weird way. He's not like a investor or anything. He just really just enjoys Moonshiners and the ambiance and the food. And then we ended up naming the brisket grilled cheese after him because it was kind of became his thing. And
that's his favorite.
Yeah. No, it literally says the Alex Bregman brisket grilled cheese on the menu, and he loves it, man. He thought that was the coolest thing. He slowed down a little bit on eating them because obviously, like I said earlier, he had the metabolism for it back then, but now it's like, I'm not so sure you're going to be okay if you keep eating 3 of those a day, dude.
He just eats 1 or 2 instead of 3.
Yeah. It's like, hey, man, like I can't really say this on a public forum, but all BS aside, I don't want you having a heart attack or anything.
It's awesome to hear that he was doing, he's not just an athlete living in Houston. When stuff happens, he was willing to stick his neck out, or not stick his neck out, but go the extra mile to help the community,
No, I mean, absolutely. I know a lot of athletes did it, and it was just one of those things where, like every other human, you had a choice to either sit back and just let things play out, see what happens, or be involved. And, he wanted to be involved. He wanted to help, and you can't knock that no matter what. The publicity is a really cool thing. But again, for me, like personally, it was just like having these records to show my kids one day down the road. So that alone, like I feel like I'm indebted to him forever. So
right. Well, it sounds like the Moonshiner does a lot for the community as well.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like local, like anybody around us, we donate gift cards to like schools and stuff like that for fundraisers, all that good stuff. Whenever COVID hit, we started a fundraiser called Hope for Hospitality. That basically just we try to raise money for staff that was out of work. And then it's more like we do more donations, like gift card donations than anything. But yeah, we stay involved and help out as much as we can. In any way we can.
Yeah, that's good. So what's the future plans for the Moonshiners? Like 5 years from now, where do y'all want to be? What do y'all want to do?
I just hope Bregman keeps tweeting about us.
Please.
Like, if you keep that going, man, I don't have anything to worry about for the next 5 years.
It's wild how powerful it is.
Yeah.
Just a tweet about a place. But
when he did the YouTube video where he tipped the waitress $500 at one time.
Was that was right after the World Series or something, or during the World Series?
No, it was right after.
I saw it on Facebook. That's where I saw it.
Yeah, so
it got shared like 1 million times.
It's like it's got a lot of hits, but it's funny. It was funny because there were so many people I saw that were talking mess about it. Like they would get on there and be like, oh man, you just did it for publicity, da 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 da. What people don't realize is he was just kind of doing his YouTube channel. And it was really random. It fell into place so perfectly, and it just became such a great video. And it was real. Like I mean, I'll be honest. Like I'm always one of those pessimistic guys. When I watch those videos, I'm like, that shit was set up, man. Whatever.
Yeah.
Who just tips a waitress $500 for no reason? Like that doesn't happen. But it was so weird because he calls me. He's like, hey man, I'm thinking about coming in tonight. Maybe have some drinks.
On the video, he was calling you, right?
Yeah, that was me on the video.
That was funny.
And he's like, I want to come in and have some drinks tonight. Can you set me up at the table? I'm like, yeah, man, whatever. And he's just like, hey, is there anybody there that needs help? Whatever. I want to say it was close to holiday time. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it was in that like general time frame, right? And I was like, and it was crazy because literally I was driving into work, and one of my managers calls me and they said, Sam, Jordan's having a terrible day today. I was thinking about cutting her early. She's having a really bad day. Someone broke in her car. They stole her rent money. It was tough. Like she's struggling. I was like, well, wait till I get there. Like, let me evaluate the situation. Let me talk to her, and then we'll go from there. And it was 30 minutes later, he calls me, and just it was out of thin air almost. I was just like, holy shit, is he listening to me through my phone or something? So then, and then I was like, yeah, I have someone whose car just got broken into. He's like, all right, I'll be there. I want to take care of her. And I mean, yeah, they set up the cameras and stuff, but still, it was just such a cool thing, man. And her reaction and the way she felt, like you can't. There's no. I mean, that's going to be forever for her, you know? She was this college kid that just had the worst day turn into the best day. Yeah. You can't take anything away from that. So, while like, yeah, I know it was, oh, man, what do you put on YouTube? It's like, what would you rather him put on YouTube? Like negative stuff that doesn't actually help anybody? Forget, like, that's stupid. But man, that was a really cool experience. And yeah.
Yeah, I saw that right on Facebook, and I was telling my wife, I was like, "Look, he goes to the Moonshiners. We went there."
That's you and about like 2 million other Houstonians. Like I'll walk through the restaurant, like, are you the guy that Bregman tweets about? I'm like, yeah, what's up? And they're like, what time is he coming in today?
What time is he going to be
Can
here?
you call him?
Is he coming before batting practice? I just need to know. I'm like, I don't know if he's going to be here today. Let me call him. I don't know what to say to you, man. But no, everybody kind of had that reaction. They're like, oh my God, that's the Moonshiners. This is where I'm going to go tomorrow. And man, we got flooded after, like, that video got us so busy for like 2-3 weeks. But it was because the hype at the time, like you said, they just won the World Series, and then all of a sudden, like, he's talking about where he goes, like, obviously sent out tweets before, but like the video was a bigger deal, and it's just like, man, people were flooding into that place.
Yeah. Well, that publicity is good. It sounds like, you know, he's kind of reached a point to, like, giving back means more, and it makes you feel better as a person.
Oh yeah.
So maybe it sounds like he's getting into that space a little bit.
Yeah. No, I've never, I can't remember a time where Houston was down or something was going on, and he didn't take some time to do something for somebody. And it's great that he's a part of the Moonshiners in his own way. Oh. And he, you know, we kind of tag along for the ride, I guess. But it's been like a partnership in a weird, it's very weird way. Like when people ask me, like, so what does he get out of it? Does he get money? Do y'all pay him for this? And I'm like, no, man. Like, it's literally just, we're kind of a team. Like, we're a team of downtown employees that want to make downtown and Houston great. So we team up, and, you know, obviously he's got the following and I got the food. Like, what's up? Let's do this.
So outside of Bregman, where else does the Moonshiners want to expand into? I guess does he want to keep kind of growing the menu, doing something different with the food, or are y'all kind of happy where y'all are at right now?
No, man, you're never happy where you're at. You always want to keep expanding, keep reaching, keep going for new things. As far as the menu goes, we probably evaluate it like every 6 months or so. We want to stay modern. We want to stay up with everybody else. Now I will say, like, to me, it seems like some people are trying to catch up to us at this point, but
that grilled cheese, huh?
I've seen like 4 or 5 brisket grilled cheeses pop up on different menus throughout the year. I'm like, they didn't have that before.
I know
you stole that.
They're calling it the Bregman grilled cheese.
Yeah.
But no, we're always working on the menu, man. We're always coming up with new ideas. We listen to staff as much as possible because they know better than anybody else. They're around the guests every day. They talk to them. They know what people are looking for. And then from there, man, I mean, obviously, like I said, we're going with the Moonshine Deck. I think it's going to be a great concept. I actually think that place is going to crush it, man. I think it's going to be one of those places where just everybody's going to be heading to for the next few years. And then from there, I mean, who knows, man? I think we're taking a year at a time, day at a time, and just figuring out as we go, just like everybody else. You know, it's just one of those things where a year ago you felt like nothing was going to get better, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, we got to keep going. Like, we got to keep rolling. Like, now it's game time. Yeah. So we're just, you know, we're soaking it all in and evaluating things and just keep pushing forward.
Do you see yourself going to the Moonshiners Deck?
Like, to work there?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, man, I'm one of those guys that just try to do whatever the company needs, man. I'm here to help and do my part. Right now, if someone asks me, like, oh, are you going to transfer? Like, there's no way. Like, Moonshiners needs me at this moment, but you never know, man. I bounced around with them before. I was involved with the grand opening of Beer Market Milam with our director of operations, Tina. Her and I tag teamed that place, man, and just destroyed it for about a year. That was actually during the World Series run too. Nice. And it was crazy there, man. That place was packed every single night. So I mean, who knows, man? I mean, maybe. I'm not sure. Obviously, I'll have my imprint there with the food and stuff, like a lot of the items they use. And, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I will be there at some point to drink maybe, but
that's what I like to hear.
What's the social media presence on Moonshiners, or you have Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff?
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can follow us on all of those websites. The Moonshinershouston.com. But yeah, we post a lot of great food pictures daily, maybe like every other day.
Are y'all on Twitter too?
Yeah, we're on Twitter. I don't think we're nearly as active on Twitter, and it was kind of funny because we got so much publicity on Twitter, but it is what it is. We're more like photo based, just because the food and stuff, and then the big Southern hospitality sign that everybody likes to take a picture in front of. So
I ask everybody this, but are y'all getting on TikTok?
No,
dude, TikTok with food is like exploding right now.
So from what I've seen, it's mostly people do like recipes, right?
I mean, I've seen everything, like recipes, but also like they'll start with like the beginning stages of cooking, and then they'll do like 3 or 4 clips of them cooking, and then it's like the final product.
Can't give away the secrets, man.
Come on, man.
I was trying to get there. I want to see what he does with the fucking brisket.
I'm going to give him these secrets, and next week it'll be like Moonshiners dose open up across the street. Like,
in Pearland.
Where did this guy come from? I don't know for sure. We just started having like a marketing team again.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm not going to say no, because it could very well be a thing pretty soon. So I don't know much about TikTok. I see my kids play on it. Like, they're like, "Oh, look at my new video, Dad." I'm like,
"The hell is this?"
Yeah, but I mean, it seems pretty cool. Yeah. From what I saw.
What's your social media tags?
On Facebook is Sam Aceituno. On Instagram is Chef Boy R Sam.
I like that.
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah, man, I post some good stuff on there too, man. I'll have y'all messaging me for recipes all day, every day.
Especially this guy.
And then on Twitter it's Aceituno87.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Sam, I greatly appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Yeah, man, it was a great time. Yeah, it was cool.
We're big fans of the restaurant, so we hope you succeed and go well beyond.
Yeah,
man.
you guys got great taste, man. I appreciate it.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, man.
All right, man. No problem.